absolutely could do a stadium. Why not do a stadium? The answer that I heard the most, because again, when we think about touring and we see Taylor Swift, Bad Bunny, and these people dominate the weekend as well, I say, why are these other guys not doing stadiums? You know what they say? Hip hop sucks in a stadium. Half of these niggas, all they do is do karaoke. Like, they're not doing a Chris Brown like show. Like, a lot of these, like, respectfully, hip hop performers are garbage. They don't rap half their words. They can't sing like how the record is. Like, it's a sham. This is a sing along. This is a party. Okay? The production aspect is really low. They're low energy. So you need to be in a smaller venue for it to connect. When you're now in possibly open air, stadium, where the sound isn't even all the way controlled, and now it becomes, if you ever watch somebody very dry in a stadium, you could clearly tell, oh, yeah, you really suck at performing. Now, I'm not saying that Drake or anyone sucks at performing, but if you've ever seen any of these guys show, you get to quickly realize who could do a stadium. I watched Kendrick's show. The nigga has a fucking amazing show. Like, you could tell it's really choreographed, and you don't see that from rappers, especially rappers with hits. I went to Drake's show. It's a sing-along. It's a party. The nigga can't even sing his own songs. The fans are singing every word. They just love him. Like, oh my God. Like, he starts to sing a song, the fans just take it away, right? To the point, Drake don't got to bring up dancers. None of that. I mean, he got some light shows in this and third, but he doesn't. I seen that nigga Kendrick. He trying to play the piano. He's over here doing some type of walking. You know, he always doing some walking, whatever the fuck, doing like the black version of Donald Trump dance. Yeah, he had like 15 people come on stage. They're mad organized. They look like a militia. Like that plays good. That looked like some Beyonce Renaissance shit. That's what she did in the stadium. Makes sense. Travis Scott don't do too much shit, honestly, but I do think he could do a stadium tour. Only why? He's energy. He's just flat out energy. And this is the guy, I'm going to be honest with you, I think Travis Scott's natural setting for his performance is a fucking festival. That nigga is great in open air. That nigga is raw energy pulsating out of his veins through the mic. It electrifies everything. Okay? Who else? I'm trying to think of rappers. J. Cole, I don't think is no fucking stadium act neither. Now, here's the thing. It's not about pulling people. The big three could do stadiums. I think J. Cole could do stadiums. Obviously, Drake could do stadiums. Drake is the most successful touring artist, rapping-wise, of all time. It's not going to change either. That's another thing. But the stadium thing, it's like bringing it to another level. Oh, of course, Kanye. Kanye is the GOAT, right? Like, you know, you get Kendrick here in terms of performance. Kanye is here. Like, I mean, Kanye's the GOAT of all things, though, right? Like, do I got to say that? Like, I mean, Kanye made this shit normal before these niggas could even, who was done sucking on their mama's titty, right? Let's just be very clear. So, like, of course, Kanye, like, a Kanye stadium show is, yeah, right? See somebody is now getting it fucked up. They're like, yo, J. Cole is a great performer. That's not the thing. See, that's the problem. Rap, again, I agree with the person who said that. I said, why don't some of these guys do stadium? Why would you want to do 3 nights in a row? You can just do one. Rap doesn't, like, a nigga just standing on the mic, just rapping, doesn't perform like, have you watched a Beyonce show? Also, here's another thing too. I personally don't believe you should even step foot in a stadium if you don't got at least a band. Half of these hip hop niggas rap over backing tracks. Let's be honest. If you don't have a band, if you don't have dancers, choreography, you shouldn't step into a stadium. The reason why is that it's for 50, 60,000 people to just be watching one nigga that's barely moving or maybe just moving left to right, going from this stage, this part of the stage to that part of the stage with one mic. That's just not appealing. And especially the prices that they're going to want to charge for a stadium. So that's why they just keep these niggas in arenas. So anytime I think about stadium, it's not about who could pull what. It's about who could put on the show that could fit it. And I'm going to be honest with you. I thought this was an amazing move. I guess I'm going to the Kendrick topic a little bit. I thought it was an amazing move by Kendrick to do a stadium tour. Why? Well, you're already working on it's his equivalent of Usher doing his residency before the Super Bowl. He kind of did a lot of his set was similar to what he did at the Super Bowl, but then he had a Super Bowl version. Kendrick is going to be performing in a stadium in February, right? And I do believe that this tour is coming afterwards, but you get to prepare. So the fact that you announced it, you get to prepare a stadium performance. What does that look like, right? Anyway, let me just finish reading this thing. So he says, I'm doing a rebrand where I'm showing .love. You can't win with these fucking idiots. If I tell y'all I like the moves that Kendrick is doing, oh my God, he's switching on Drake. If I tell y'all, yo, I think Drake is doing some shit that's bad timing, oh my God, he's a traitor. If I then tell you, honestly though, I haven't listened to that album but 2 songs, or 3 songs actually. And I listen to, you see what I play for my intro, I listen to Drake every day. I listen to Drake's music all the time. Kendrick music bores me. It just bores me. It's like something that, like, after the first time listening to it, it's like doing homework. Like, I just can't get excited to do homework. All right? And I just don't think he has a good enough balance to captivate someone who isn't about to exert energy to listen to this music all the time. Also, maybe it's just not my wave. Again, I just listen more Drake. If I say that, I'm hating on Kendrick. So you can't really win. We're like in this political type of thing. You just can't really win, right? Drake fans, they feel like, yo, Ak, you're switching up on Drake if you criticize him. Kendrick fans, they feel like you're hating if you don't suck him off. It's like, what do you do? So it's not the mere fact that you're thinking a media personality is doing a rebrand. Let me tell you this. The peak of the bread that I got from this shit was their battle. They could go away right now. Let's go get some new shit in. I'm in media. Whenever the popping story is, I'm numero uno. I keep telling y'all that. I don't give 2 fucks. Okay? I'm kind of like, we're beating a dead horse here. Like, what more are we going to talk about? Hey, let's talk about overarching themes. Kendrick I think he's making all A1 perfect moves in terms of PR announcements. He's doing a good job. Got to give it to him. I think Drake is fumbling the ball there a bit. I think Drake is making the songs he put out, great songs. But we're wondering next moves, okay? How is the packaging going to look? What's the Universal thing? There's a lot of questions there, right? The music's still good, but there's questions there, right? But there's questions with Kendrick too. Okay, Kendrick, what's the next thing because it looks like Kendrick's next year is going to be an offset off of this battle. Like, he's literally planned his next year, and every time we see him in a moment that we're saying, that's dope, the second thing we're going to say is, damn, I wonder what Drake thinks. And I would imagine he wants to get past that too. Yes, you want to do your victory lap, but eventually you want to get wins that they don't, because you're never truly number one if every time you get a win, they compare it to the last nigga that's number one. You want to be the barometer for success, where when it's turned around, that's when I'll know Kendrick is truly number one. When Drake does something and they said, yeah, but Kendrick, I wonder what Kendrick is feeling about this. You get what I'm saying? Like, everything, like the narrative around Kendrick and everything he does, even the album, even this tour, it's like, well, how does this kind of matter with the Drake thing? The conversation, I'm being honest, I'm like, some of y'all gonna listen to this wherever y'all listen to it, and y'all be like, oh no, Axe coping. No. Just really answer these questions. And it's not to help either out, but Answer, what's the main narrative around these guys? The main narrative around Drake, and I'll be honest, is, is his reign about to end? Is the empire about to topple? Do you get what I'm saying? Are we tired of him? Is he burning out? Is he at a point where the music can't connect? Is he now making mistakes that are missteps? Do you get what I'm saying? So that's how kind of I view it. And I think both have to address those two things, right? I think Kendrick is truly number one when his actions the narrative isn't around what Drake and his fans think. And I think Drake's narrative is, when y'all are not talking about, is my reign over? And by the way, Drake has went through this 3 times, I believe. Obviously with the Pusha T thing, right before the beef with Meek. And I forgot there was another time where people just kind of felt like, maybe he was falling off a bit. And then he responded like with music, but in a really big way. And life went on after that. What? Cool. Anyway, let me just finish reading this tweet. Okay. All right, so it says, you say he's criticized some of Drake's moves. Okay, all right, and this is what I would probably stop and just even address to this person. You're watching my clips on Twitter, and respectfully to everybody who posts my clips on Twitter, I'm pretty, fair with letting people do what they want. But, you guys are watching salacious clips, right? After one stream where I had about, a good 20 minutes of going off on certain things about Kendrick, the entire internet captioned it, Ak is crashing out on Kendrick. I gave the nigga mad credit in a lot of parts of the stream. That conversation happened to be the part I'm not giving him credit. But of course that part went viral. So now they're like, oh my God, I would encourage the people, we live in the clip culture, try to watch the entire context if you can. But I do get it. This is the election, right? It's like, if you're a Kamala person, to admit that Trump said something good is like fucking almost like hurting yourself, right? And it's the same thing vice versa, right? Of course, it looks like it hurts him to do it. How does this make sense? It hurts me to just say the truth? Okay. I don't know if it was GNX, the 2 lawsuits, the Drake streaming with the other guy instead of him, or Mealy Mall. I hear him say things he would never utter during the battle. This is such an interesting and weird narrative to me because I think I've always told people before the battle, during the battle, now, I prefer Drake's music over Kendrick's. It's never going to change. It's just never going to change. What more y'all want to tell you, right? But I've given Kendrick a lot of credit in terms of, him being a MC. I've always done that. I call it To Pimp a Butterfly one of the best albums that's critically acclaimed, yet I don't listen. I think it has one of the least replay value. I don't listen to that shit constantly. The hell? Shit feels like a chore. But when I do listen, or if I'm forced to listen, I'm like, this is pretty much damn near close to being a pretty perfect album. That's really good raps. But am I listening to that constantly? Fuck no. Hell no. Nigga, I'm listening to Dirk. We've been sliding through the block and they don't know we have. But the ass got shot. Come on, that's my type of shit. You feel me? I don't want to listen to this shit. I can't listen to fake woke niggas. I'd rather listen to destructive street niggas like Youngboy. Sorry. Or I'd rather listen to Cardi. Okay? I look at Kendrick Lamar's music, and maybe I could get a fat reference out of this. I look at Kendrick Lamar music as like spinach and salads. Yeah, it might be good. It's good for you. You can't be like, it's healthy. You don't want that shit all the time. You almost kind of set the time when you're going to eat that. All right. Fuck, I picked out yesterday. I'm going to eat a salad today. Yes. Yeah, that's how I look at Kendrick's music. What we consume daily is Future, Travis, Cardi, Dirk, Youngboy, Uzi, Drake, Bossman D-Lo. We consume that shit. Kendrick is like sinning 6 days a week, but still thinking you're a good person because you go to church on Sundays. Kendrick is like the nigga that you drop his catalog in a conversation just to be like, nah, I know some hip hop, but you're not listening to that all the time, brother. Well, as soon as you get in the car and there is a hint of females. Y'all about to go to the club, mall, y'all even going to Chipotle. Not playing that nigga's music. You're not. That's just a reality. A thotty getting it. Yo, put on that Sexy Red, that Glorilla, that motherfucking Lotto. That's just how I look at it. I don't know how y'all look at it. I've been trying to find the guy who, throughout his day, continually bumps Kendrick Lamar. I ain't seen none. I probably got to go to West Coast to find them niggas. I don't see them. Truth be told, okay? And it's not like a diss, right? Because two things could be true. We be giving him like all the, like, yeah, all right, cool. Well, you know, technically he's one of the best in this and third, whatever. But most of the people, even the ones on Twitter, saying that they listen to Future more than they listen to that nigga. That's why when people said that, when I said he's on the level of Future in terms of whatever, people thought that was a diss. I think Future is the single most important artist in hip hop, period. I've said that before. I said, if call it Glaze, I think he's more important than all these niggas. Culturally, I don't think there's no more influential and important artist than Future. I don't think Kendrick inspires art like how Future inspires art, personally. I don't think Drake inspires art like Future inspires art. That's what I personally think. I've been saying this. Okay. He says, OVO fans need to stop being delusional in the clip where he addresses Mealy Mall. I could be wrong, but I peeped a little shift. No. And this wasn't like, I see the little OVO fans kind of like get their little panties in a bun. Shut up. Like, I'm not here placating to none of y'all, okay? Right? Like, I'm not here placating to none of y'all. And just to let you know, don't let me start shitting on y'all too, because I shit on everybody. I big up the Barbs at times and shit on them too. Please. I shit everybody on everybody, okay? The only thing I told y'all to stop being delusional about, and really, I question the veracity. Like, I of course know Mealy Mall talks to Drake. I'm questioning this narrative that I believe is a cope. And if Drake said it, I believe it. But he didn't say Drake said it. So if Mealy Mall came out and said, Drake told me to tell y'all he's performing at the World Cup halftime show, I'd be like, oh shit, that's a real thing. That is going to be fucking huge. I'm just saying, from what I look at right now, the whole narrative that, trying to counteract. Remember, Kendrick's getting a win here with performing at the Super Bowl. Let's show him we could outdo him. How are we going to outdo him? Well, Drake is performing at the World Cup. Where is the proof of that? That conversation piece was out before Mealy Mall said it. Where did it come from? It showed Drake being an ambassador. And by the way, I believed it at first until I did my research. Yo, there's 17 host cities. There's an ambassador in every fucking city. It's 3 countries that's hosting the World Cup. They're going to have a halftime show for the first time, and they haven't announced what musical performance is going to happen. So I'm just trying to tell all the Drake fans, bruv, y'all don't got to just make up some random bullshit. And also, here's the thing. We don't know if the performances will be at any other show besides the final. Maybe Drake does perform, but it's not the final. My point of contention is none of those shows are bigger than the Super Bowl. That's not giving Kendrick credit. That's just a fact. Only the motherfucking World Cup final is going to be bigger than the Super Bowl. So, unless Drake gets announced, and I don't give a fuck if Mealy Mall breaks an exclusive. I don't care, right? As long as it's actually what it is. Until FIFA says it. If FIFA says it, you'll hear me come back around and says, oh, nah, Kendrick, that nigga got you. But I'm not going to just make up shit to make Drake fans feel good. Get the fuck over it. Kendrick's at the Super Bowl, nigga. Get over it. Okay? I thought we got through y'all niggas cope with Kendrick at the Super Bowl with Drake already saying, I turned the shit down 3 times. And that came through Mealy Mall too, which that was, people corroborate. Yo, that's true. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, cool. Drake turned it down 3 times. Fine. All right. Go have your Super Bowl. But now y'all trying to create like a different event. And the different event is you got the Super Bowl, but you ain't get the World Cup. Like, stop it. You get what I'm saying? Stop it. It's okay. This moment will the reason why we're proverbially stuck in this Drake and Kendrick back and forth. And Kendrick, this is where I think Kendrick is smart. He fucking knows it. All of his moves, it reminds me of Dirk versus Youngboy and Dirk versus 6ix9ine on a much larger level. I remember saying to those artists, you do know that Dirk coming into this with both of y'all, he knew you had a bigger fan base. He knew you had a bigger fan base. I said it to both 6ix9ine and Youngboy. I said, this is how he's smart. He basically started to use y'all fan base to help promote him. And I do think that Kendrick knows how to keep the moment of this conversation going with everything he's doing. And I'm not saying he's doing it only just for that reason, but he knows how to position it. He's been doing a really good PR job. I can't lie. But that's it. So that's what I'm trying to tell y'all fans. Please just stop it, bro. Just stop it. Please. Just stop it. Like, it's okay. Both of these artists are going to get their win. The Anita Max tour, I think it's bad timing. Don't perform on the date that motherfucking Kendrick is at the Super Bowl. But you going on a tour, a world tour, or international tour, or doing Australia, I think that is dope. That's dope. Do I think that Kendrick announcing a stadium tour means I have to compare that to Drake doing an Australia tour and how quickly he sold out this? No, it's two different things. It's two different things. Like I think Drake fans feel like they're still trying to prove themselves. I don't care what tour Kendrick announced. I wouldn't give if I'm y'all, I wouldn't give a fuck until call me when box office has told y'all the totals of the tour. And if it ain't over 320, shut up. I don't care where he's performing. He could perform on the moon. If it don't say over 320 million gross, I don't give a fuck. That's how it should be looked at. Not like, oh no, well, the Anita Max tour just sold out like 2 dates and we're putting a third. Who gives a fuck? They're not comparable. One nigga just dropped an album at the Super Bowl and he's dropping the tour for his album. But of course, I'm looking at it today and I'm like, even I was forced to I didn't even post Drake's tour because I'm like, yeah, rappers perform all the time. I'm not gonna sit here and post every time Drake fucking pops up somewhere, like unless he's like saying something that's a clip-worthy thing. But even I had to post the Kendrick shit today, and I even post at least on my main page. I didn't post the Drake shit. You know why? Because I'm like, this motherfucker knows how to just get everybody talking. He knows how to. That's a good way how to. And then also, right before I posted, I'm like, this. He's also done this in a way. He's getting all the free press in the world. It's a Dirk-like method, except this is way beyond Dirk, obviously. Like, this is top tier shit. But anyway, yeah, y'all fans just kind of cool out with it, man. Like, I get it. We're bored in music, man. That's why we need Cardi and Youngboy, come save the world. Damn. Tired of Drake and motherfucking Kendrick. We tired of these niggas, man. Please, Cardi, drop. Drop. I ain't gonna lie. I've never wanted another artist to drop to take all the attention off because fans are getting, and I'm blaming both fan base, the K-bots and also the OVO stands. They're now starting to go into La La Land a little bit, and I'm like, chill out. Just relax. It's okay. It's okay. Right? It's not end of the world for Drake. He's still number one. For Kendrick, he's having one of the best years we've seen from an artist in a while. Both things can be true. Okay. Let's go check out what's going on with the YSL case real quick. Yeah, I gotta switch the subject a little bit because I'm a little sick of tired. I'm sick and tired of talking about it, man. God damn. Someone said, I helped fuel this narrative. What narrative? All right. Oh well. Oh well. Since I'm still talking about it, let me just address it. Right. Let me. Okay. So here we go. Um. Kendrick announced his stadium tour with SZA. Yeah. If we look at where the tour is going to go, by the way, this was the 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 tweet cover photo announcement. Clearly, I don't think it's a co-headlining tour, but it might be. And here are the dates. So they're going to Minneapolis. You'll notice everything says stadium, stadium, stadium. Every stadium is about, look, U.S. Bank Stadium capacity. This is the opening. So it says 66,000. So imagine, that would be about 3 shows, right? Then NRG Stadium, 3 shows in an arena. NRG Stadium, 72,000. Now, I should have probably did quick math to see how many patrons this was, because I could just look at capacity, imagine everything is going to be sold out. And to be very fair, again, just all fairness, if this is anything remotely close, we all know that I believe It's a Blur tour had 90 dates, I believe, 86 or 8, between 80 and 90. This looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 dates. So it's about 4 times less dates. However, the venues hold about 3 times more. So he's about to do a tour that's going to be probably comparable in tickets sold to maybe what Drake does. However, I don't think even with this tour, I don't think it's going to come close to or is going to hit It's a Blur tour numbers. Why? Historically, Kendrick ticket prices are lesser than Drake. So Drake charges about like 2.5. So if a normal seat, say this seat here, is $220, Kendrick is selling it for $100. So you pay $220 if you go to Drake show for that, and then you pay $100 here. I don't know. Maybe Kendrick raises the price. Now that might get a little bit of backlash because obviously I think the persons who have the highest ticket prices, Beyonce and Taylor Swift, but they can. Like, people realize you gotta get the mortgage to go watch them people live, right? Like, Beyonce got no problem selling tickets for like $3,000, right? She don't give 2 fucks, right? But as a rapper, I think Kendrick got to play it. I think he could raise the price from what he normally did. Like, for example, on his last tour, the Mr. Morale and Big Steppers tour, he could definitely raise the price, but he got to be a little bit careful because, he's still the man of the people, and he's still the, guy who's speaking for the inner cities. So if you start charging prices where, yeah, you can't say not like us, and then you charge prices where it's going to be all white people that got mad money from the suburbs. You get what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure the ticket prices are probably going to reflect the audience that he either wants to get, or at least reflect, the message that he kind of want to get out there. But he definitely could charge a lot more now, honestly. But I don't think he will. I don't think he will. So based on that, I do believe he won't hit like 320, right? With that, which still, let's look at the top grossing tours, top grossing hip hop tours of all time. He might beat his last one though. He might beat his last one. Okay. Yeah, he might beat his last. Okay, so he's actually in third with 110 million. He should beat that. Travis Scott is second with 154, and obviously The Boy is number 1 with 320. So I could see him. I could see him reclaiming number 2. Which, by the way, interestingly enough, I think Drake is gonna go on another big tour next year. I have no inside information. I'm watching how these guys are dominating, And I'm realizing like whether they have some enormous deals with Live Nation, but I can see Drake either dropping next year, then going on an extensive tour again. Because right now these guys are really printing money with this touring shit. They're printing money. Like why not do it, right? So yeah, I expect I expect Kendrick to be number 3 and number 4. I don't know if he passes Travis Scott, but he might. He might. Yeah, you know, one of the reasons why Travis Scott ended up at number 2, he did a lot of outdoor venues, right? He had 80,000 people in Milan, right? And that mattered. By the way, also one of the reasons Drake could have did $500 million, but did he do overseas with this or no? I don't know. He didn't do as much overseas as we see with like Taylor Swift and like Bad Bunny and even Burna Boy, honestly. Okay, so I expect this list to be updated by the end of the year next year to have Kendrick at number 3. I think number 3 is going to be the Grand National Tour, which is the new one he just announced, and number 4 is going to be the Grand National Big Steppers Tour, right? Which is going to put Nicki to number 5, and then 50 falls out, I believe. Yeah, 50 falls out of the top 5, which that's still big because only the top 5 had over $100 million in grossing, right? And that's fire that hip hop has gotten to this level, right? Like that's fire. Can't even lie, right? All right. So he's going to US Bank, NRG, AT&T Stadium. So Minneapolis, Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, Charlotte, Philly. He's doing New York, New Jersey twice, which is East Rutherford. Foxborough, that's where the Patriots play. He's going to Seattle. He's doing LA twice, so he's doing SoFi twice. I actually think maybe he could have done 3 times. If he's doing New York twice, I think he could have done LA 3 times, right? But he's probably going to still do more in California, right? He's going to go Glendale. Then he comes back to California, but he does San Francisco. Okay. Yeah, has someone ever done 3 nights back-to-back at a stadium? Probably Taylor Swift, right? Taylor Swift consecutive nights at stadium. Let me see. She's performed... Oh, yeah, she became the first artist to sell out 3 consecutive nights. Oh, never mind. That's an NRG. Oh, yeah, so she was doing it all over, yeah. But it's Taylor Swift. Okay. Yeah, so you're doing SoFi twice. Goes to Arizona, then goes to California again. Does Las Vegas. That's a new Raiders stadium. Goes to St. Louis. Goes to Illinois. Detroit, Michigan. Goes to Toronto. And to be very fair, I don't think nothing's happening in Toronto. Like we don't have to make it that big of a... Yo, I'm going to be honest with you. I predict this is going to be one of the most peaceful events of the year. And it's not because Toronto niggas ain't like that, because they are. It's just that once you get to the arenas and the stadiums, there is so much police, only an idiot and a crash out would even attempt to do anything. And even at that point, you're not doing anything to an artist. You're probably doing something to a fan, right? It's the reason why Drake waltzed in. Again, I remember I went to that concert mid-beef. Drake performs in Philadelphia, and there were 45 cop cars escorting them in and out. You would be an idiot. Like, that's some shit you see when a president's pulling up, right? I would imagine the same thing in Toronto. Toronto would look like a motherfucking joke if that happened. Now, granted, you know, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be, well, I would hope, right? I would hope he's not popping up to New Ho King, right? Because I even see Top 5 saying, I respect him if he comes with no police escort. He's coming with a police escort. But he might not go to New Ho King, right? He probably won't go to New Ho King or nothing like that. I get it. But do I think that concert is going to be canceled? Absolutely not, right? Now, you know, I was thinking about this. I've been going back and forth on this. Because I've seen people argue about Drake and the Pusha T thing, and then also like the Schoolboy Q thing, is canceling a nigga show or not necessarily canceling, but using your influence that may result in the people that from your city saying, "Oh, we not about to do the show." Is that, as hip hop likes to say, police, or is that being a boss? Because I was thinking about it, and people they've been throwing that word around with Drake a lot. Yo, yeah, this nigga, man, he been not like us. Like, he getting shit canceled, this and third. Then they also talks about this show. They're like, yo, well, let's see if he could get this one canceled. It's interesting. I wonder where y'all fall on what y'all think that is. Because me, I'm a little... I feel like people are being a little bit... Well, not a little bit. They're being super subjective here, right? If I listen to people in hip-hop, these are, like, especially... Like, for example, some people that either are K-bots or they support Kendrick, they feel it's a whole move to sue. They feel it's a whole move to cancel concerts. But they're the same people online saying niggas should be canceled. Like, those same people be tweeting at me saying I should be canceled. You hear what I'm saying? Like, it's very funny. They'd be like, yo, cancel this nigga. Yo, why this whole ass nigga Drake cancel our guy, though? Like, what is it? Is it hip-hop or is it not? Do you get what I'm saying? Is it like, what's up? Yo, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, soon as mad police, man. That's like mad police. But then they'll champion somebody else, though. That's the only, like, confusing thing I don't get. Like, put it like this. A lot of them niggas who said, like, I'm not the biggest fan of this move. But a lot of the niggas who are criticizing Drake for doing this is a Jay-Z-esque move. Like, Jay-Z does this shit. When Jay-Z don't like something, he shuts it down from behind the scenes. He sends these notices. He does these things. He's using surrogates or his lawyers that's suing people, including media. I don't hear nobody jumping out saying this whole ass shit. I'm wondering why it's not the same energy across the board. If the energy of everyone was, yo, just keep the police out of our business, period. No lawsuits. This is hip-hop, nigga. We don't do lawsuits. Okay. But I feel like it's super subjective, right? Like, nah, that's a whole move. But when this other guy do it, it's cool. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, I don't think nothing's happening in this show, right? And by the way, if Drake could shut it down, if I'm Drake and I could shut it down, I would shut it down. You know why? That's what Jay-Z does. Jay-Z does that type of shit too. Y'all keep talking about the shit that Nicki has done to artists, Drake has done to artists. Who you think they all learned it from? Hove! Hove did it to everybody. These artists got these type of, so when they learned it from Hove, they learned it from 50. Let me not just only throw Hove in there. Didn't 50 tell Sheik Luch, you know I could have get your shit pushed off the label? Was that a whole move then, or was that like a boss move? Like, hey, what are we calling all of this stuff, right? 50 Cent. Styles P pushed off label. Or I think he was like, I'm going to get the label to shelf you. Here we go.
You're sitting here talking about the majors, the indies. You must got to hook up with Jimmy. Maybe you can get more than that over there.
They're not going to give up $7.
Be back? That ain't, that shows you're a strong artist, and I do tip my hat to you. I do.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'd like to see him get pushed back.
Here we go.
Not pushed off so much that they would not,
All right, that's cool.
I don't know what you do. Like, I wouldn't do that. And one for one, Jimmy,
I don't think Jimmy would do that neither, but I'm
they
just
love the
about
money
what
so
say.
much that they would not.
But you did say
You said it.
on
but
the
you
air
what you say,
that
bro.
you wanted him pushed back.
No, I'd like to see him get pushed back. Not pushed off the label.
Now, I didn't say you push me
game.
off.
Listen, look,
I didn't
game.
say you push me off, right?
Right, that's like game.
But
Look,
you having the power to push me back, that ain't, that shows you.
That's how it works in the music business. It's always going like that. I'm asking everybody because if everybody agree that all these actions been whole shit, I will publicly say what Drake did is whole shit. Oh, yo, you're getting Pusha T removed off tracks? That's whole shit. If we're saying what 50 did, whole shit. What Jay-Z's done, whole shit. What is it? Because they're all doing the same shit. They're getting power, leverage, and then the ops, whoever their ops is, they're using their influence behind the scenes to make it super uncomfortable for them niggas. That's what they're all doing. They all did this shit. Is it whole shit or what? Somebody said it's beef. Okay. So if it's beef, stop telling me this other shit.
Strong artist, and I do tip my hat to you. I do tip my hat and salute to you. You're a strong artist. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But there's people like me. Let me tell you something about people like me, dog. My joint went 80,000.
Okay. All right. All right. Then after that, they come back to Hershey Park Stadium. What stadium is that? That's in PA. Is that Pittsburgh? I don't know. Okay. And then they go to Northwest Stadium in Maryland. Okay. I think it's going to be a very successful tour. Once again, kudos to PG Lang. Man, listen, yo, all y'all Drake fans, the reason why I can tell y'all, man, shut the fuck up, is because I'm a bigger fan than y'all. Shut up, niggas. Like, don't ever question me, nigga. But I could also be fair. Yo, Kendrick and his fucking team are doing an amazing job with PR. They're making sure about every 2 weeks they drop something. Or every week or so. And everybody talks about it for 4 or 5 days. Then it burns out. Then it goes quiet again for another 4 or 5 days. Then another thing. It's perfect. Like, by the way, this type of method, a lot of artists that don't drop music a lot, they rely on having a good team to keep their name afloat by not, there's some people who keep getting talked about because they spam music, and some people who don't, but they still get talked about a lot, and they kind of do what Kendrick's doing. This is PR 101, right? Like, I think a lot of what people have not acknowledged, and I think, I don't know if, he probably will, right? Kendrick's probably going to win a Grammy or something like that. He's definitely going to show up. I'm pretty sure he's going to acknowledge his team finally. Yo, whatever Kendrick's team is doing, including buying bots or whatever, right? Whatever they're doing, it's fucking, it's working. It's working, even if it's bots too, right? Like, if it's the bots at the right time, the fucking messaging, the look, the aesthetic, everything does look and it's looking like a solid campaign. It does look like that. And I got to give credit to that, right? I got to give credit to that. Yeah. Now, granted, do I want to go watch this show? I think I would only go to watch the People Watch. Well, I mean, I guess I like some Kendrick songs, but not People Watch. I want to see how this shit kind of plays out. Yeah, I remember being in that building when Drake performed back to back, man. That shit was electric. If I went to one of these Kendrick shows, I'm going to go in disguise. Because people think that I'm so team Drake. They're going to think Kendrick dissing me. Like, you know what I mean? So like, I got to be in disguise when I'm at this motherfucking concert. But I might go. Who knows? I don't give a fuck. All right. Okay. All right. I seen also that made the news. Charlamagne gave Drake Donkey today. And I'll react to that. Can I find it?
It's that time of year to think about yes.
Okay. Where's the here we go.
Damn, the hee-haw again. And
Arbery, Monday, December 2nd. Well, just hilarious. Donkey of the Day for Monday, December 2nd goes to Arbery Drake Graham. We was on vacation all last week, so I didn't get the opportunity to properly give Drake the credit he deserves for being stupid. But if you haven't heard, last week, Frozen Moments LLC, a company managed by Drake, filed a petition in the New York Supreme Court accusing UMG and Spotify of engaging in a scheme to ensure Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us broke through on multiple streaming platforms. According to the petition, Aubrey Graham claimed the label used dishonest tactics to increase the number of listeners for Not Like Us on Spotify and radio stations. He also filed another petition against UMG alleging defamation and claiming that the label could have stopped the release of Not Like Us, which the rapper said in the document is a song falsely accusing him of being a sex offender. Let's go to ABC News for the report, please.
Drake is filing a petition against Universal Music Group and Spotify, accusing the companies of, quote, artificially inflating the spread of Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. In the New York court filing, Drake alleges UMG and Spotify, quote, deceived consumers into believing the song was more popular than it was, manipulating the streaming services to make the song go viral. UMG released
The fuck? They just played the song in the middle of it?
that UMG would do anything to undermine.
Person who multi-billion podcast. I might have even said it here on Breakfast Club. I don't remember. But I told y'all Drake was going to file a lawsuit. I told you Drake was going to sue. He is a multi-billion-dollar entity. No multi-billion-dollar entity is going to allow you to call him a pedophile or a sex offender and not take some sort of legal action. But here's the thing. The person who has the real defamation case in this situation is Kendrick's woman. Because Drake not only said Kendrick was beating on her, he said that Dave Free, Kendrick's business partner and friend, was the real father to one of Kendrick's kids. So if you're going to accuse somebody of defamation, you must first make sure you too aren't guilty of defamation, okay?
That's a valid point. It's a very valid point. Now, granted, Drake isn't suing, and this is what's lost in it, but I keep saying this is the messaging. Drake isn't suing, or his petition isn't even showing an intent to sue Kendrick Lamar. You get what I'm saying? It has an intent to sue Universal. And this is like this slight dishonest way of how people are talking about this. While I completely agree, right? If we're getting to, oh, you said something wrong about me in a rap song, Kendrick Lamar's wife, or girlfriend or baby moms, whatever you call her, she could 100% file a lawsuit against Drake because, yo, bro, you said these things, and let's say if those things aren't true, or even if maybe it is true, but if there's no proof of it, or they solemnly believe Drake doesn't have the proof, hey, you're defaming me, and I'm not a public figure. That's nothing. Remember I told you about defamation. In defamation laws, when you're a public figure, and I said this specifically with Meg Thee Stallion, when you're a public figure, there is no reasonable expectation of, not necessarily privacy, but people to not, you're part of public discourse. So someone commenting on your appearance, someone commenting on your art, your skill, your talent, it's all for the, it's par for the course. Now it gets a little tricky. I'm not going to saying someone's a woman beater, even if they're popular, isn't in the realm of defamation. But if someone says, yo, you're fat, you can't just be like, you defame me, or you can't be like, yo, this guy's a bitch. That's your opinion, and you're a public person, even if it does hurt your your career. Kendrick Lamar's wife would have the best argument to say, I'm not a public figure. I'm just not. I'm a private citizen that isn't publicly available, or there is no public discourse about me that I've exploited myself. And someone bringing me into the limelight, especially in a way that might be damaging to whether me and my kids, that easily opens up me to the damages that I would claim in court in a defamation suit. So I agree here, right? But again, this is a great sleight of hand that the entire media landscape been doing. Okay, you're making a good point with the Kendrick wife shit, but Drake is not saying he's going to sue Kendrick. He's suing UMG, claiming UMG's promotion is the defamation. He's claiming UMG used illegal tactics. He's not suing Kendrick. So that's a sleight of hand.
Hey, Drake saying that Kendrick defamed him is indeed the pot calling the kettle beige, but that's not even why.
Drake never said Kendrick defamed him. Drake said Kendrick made a song that contained defamation, right? But he's saying the exact allegations is that the company released it and then promoted it. And that's why, because if Kendrick made the song without it being released, at least per his petition, he's claiming he wouldn't care, right? Which, obviously, and I'm going to also be fair, some people feel like that's a way to skirt around the real person you want to sue. Like, you want to sue Kendrick, but you don't want to get too much heat, which I think he's getting heat already, but that might be a point too.
I'm giving him Donkey of the Day. Okay, I'm giving him Donkey of the Day because Drake is proving without a shadow of a doubt that he simply doesn't understand culture. I used to debate with my man Glasses Malone. Drop on the clues bombs for Glasses Malone. You can listen to his No Ceilings podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network. I used to debate with Glasses when he would say things like, Drake isn't hip hop. He would say Drake is not culture. Glasses would actually say Drake is Madonna. He's pop. He's manufactured. And after this lawsuit, I have to say, I agree. Because Drake doesn't understand how any of this works. Number one, Not Like Us was very popular. Okay, it's still very popular. It was an instant smash. All right, Not Like Us isn't just a hit record. It's a
I think this moment in time has allowed people the room to say what they've always thought about Drake, and also basically pretty much almost blanketly, from what I've heard from many people, just say, we've never really accepted you as one of us, as part of culture. Because I don't think this lawsuit means that he ain't whatever. I think if at worst, and we don't know if this is exactly how it thinks, but at worst, this might just show that maybe Drake is caught up in his own bubble, just like every big artist gets to the point where you may lose a little bit of a touch with what the regular folk is saying. The regular folk is saying, oh, nah, this shit lit. And Drake might be like, how is it lit? I don't see it. Remember I said he's probably never heard that song out. And some people took that as I was saying he never heard that song, period. No. He's never been in a public setting, a party, a club, an event, and they played it. So that's almost creating the, like, you control the atmospheres that you're around, and out of respect to you, because you're so popular, they won't even fuck with you to play that song. So you never see it. But if any of y'all have been out and see that song getting played, you see how that there's a vitriol reaction to it, right? It's like a really vibrant reaction. And I think that is something, it's not only to Drake, it's about artists that get to a certain level. Wayne at a point, even though maybe you could argue that Wayne was always just out of touch, when Wayne got to that extremely high point, like, he lost touch with everything. He ain't know what's going on. He was just in his own world. Most artists you hear get to that bubble, they lose real contact with the common folk because their entire environment and their entire ecosystem is really curated and manicured, right? But to address the thing about Drake isn't culture, or Drake ain't, oh, this he's been the whole time, this white boy, or whatever the case is, you're telling me one lawsuit, and everybody has filed lawsuits before, you're telling me one lawsuit erased 15 years of you've seen this guy make this type of music, live this type of life, be around these type of people, and have these type of traditions, and none of that mattered because of a lawsuit? Also, to be very fair, and let me play a little more.
Rare cultural phenomenon. Records like that don't come along too often. Records like that can't be programmed. I don't care how much money you spend at radio or on playlists, whatever it is. When something is a cultural phenomenon, you can't buy that. Okay, you can't buy culture, Drake. Not Like Us was a cultural identifier for a whole coast. I wouldn't be surprised if California made the state motto, they not like us one day. Right now, their state motto is Eureka. So they need an upgrade, okay? And they not like us would absolutely be a better model, but that's what Drake doesn't understand, because Drake is absolutely one of the biggest artists in the world, okay? He has a cult-like following. Not just a cult-like following, he has some of the most loyal D-riders on the planet. In fact, drop on the clues bombs for Drake's D-riders. There are people amongst us who sit on Drake's penis the way Drake was sitting on the CN Tower on the Views album cover, okay? But even with Drake's huge fan base, don't think for 1 second, whatever the label UMG was doing to promote, Not Like Us, they were doing the same thing for you your whole career. Okay, if one of those diss records you put out would have taken off and been a cultural phenomenon like Not Like Us, the record label would have pushed that too. How would you be clowning Kendrick right now if Kendrick said, UMG, you didn't have to let Drake put that record out accusing me of beating my lady. You didn't have to let Drake put that record out saying my child isn't really mine. I'm trying to get you to see why you look like a complete and total sucker, Drake. Okay, not to mention, once again, you are a...
Now, based on his narrative right there, that made sense, but that's not really why Drake is suing, right? We kind of get the reason while reading the petition that Drake has admitted that the goal of this was to lessen his value, and also that they've been in negotiations with no action being taken, and really he's alluding to the fact that he's trying to get a new deal, right? And because of that, that's the major thing. That's why the lawsuit's filed. The lawsuit isn't filed saying, oh, I'm a sucker because I'm losing. The lawsuit filed is because, hey, we think that you're doing things to gain a favorable edge in a negotiation that we believe is not only unethical, but is a bad business practice that should be regulated and is illegal, right? That's kind of what he's asserting.
Huge artist, but don't believe your own hype too much, because those same tricks you are accusing UMG of doing for Not Like Us, they have done for you your whole career. There was a time when Drake was on the cover of every playlist on the browser page of Spotify. Okay, they did it with Apple too. I think it was called Scorpion Season or something like that. And he took over multiple playlists on the same day. All I'm saying, Aubrey, is stop acting like you haven't been the beneficiary of record label technology. Okay, you being a whole hoe simply because you lost. Simply because Kendrick Lamar kicked your ass lyrically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And anybody acting like this is anything more than Drake's feelings being hurt, you a hoe too.
Now, as I said, there's a sleight of hand going on in the media with how they're discussing this. And again, the sleight of hand is not the fact that Drake, even if you want to say, yo, he's being a bitch or he's upset, but he's upset at what he feels is unfair negotiation tactics. He's not upset about the result of a battle, right? That's a sleight of hand. Oh no, he's just mad because you lost, right? He again, he's upset at one thing, not the other. Anyway, I'm gonna give an example. Charlemagne works for iHeartMedia. That's the company that Breakfast Club is owned by. If there was an allegation about Charlemagne that, remember, they own several hundred radio stations. Say they kept platforming someone that was saying these allegations about Charlemagne in Charlemagne's negotiation year. And they were pushing this person to another radio station, another radio station, another radio station. And now Charlemagne, if he was asking for X amount of dollars, they then say you're only worth X divided by 3. And then he was also trying to do some other stuff with some book stuff over here. And then they're saying, well, I ain't gonna lie, like it's looking kind of hot for you right now because that's happening. And then he's looking at this to say the major source of why this is going on is because of the company I work at and them wanting to try to devalue me. I'm pretty sure he would file legal notice too. I mean, Charlamagne has definitely sent legal notices to people who have lied on him about things. Right? Yo, cease and desist. Stop fucking playing with me. So I'm a little bit hesitant in just blanketly saying filing a legal notice means you're being a hoe. I believe there was a time that Star, and I don't want to dig up no bullshit, but like Star from Star and Buckwild said stuff about Charlamagne, and he got a cease and desist. Now, granted, you might think that's slightly different, but still, if there was an entity platforming either allegations or whatever that was destructive, like there was a time Charlamagne lost a couple of D's because of some of the bullshit being platformed. I'm pretty sure if he could have filed legal notices to either correct that or stop it, he probably would. So I don't know if I agree with just blankly saying somebody's a hoe.
Ho to be exact, okay? He's fighting the same war that Michael Jackson fought. Drake is taking a stand for the art and the artists. People who are running with that narrative would hold Drake's penis while he pees and shake it for him when he's finished. Okay, Drake has been handling this terribly since Not Like Us dropped. And please, let's keep this in mind. Drake, you're in this position because you tapped out. Okay, you chose to tap out after you heard Not Like Us. Kendrick dropped too much tune for your head top. Okay, he gave you Euphoria, 616.
Too much tune for your head top is hilarious.
In LA, Meet the Grams, and Not Like Us. It was too much for you because you didn't have to tap out after the Hard Part 6. You could have went in the studio and gave us a bop.
Now, I'm trying to really, I'm walking a very tight rope here because I want my comments. I'm making a very concerted effort to try to be as fair as I can. Okay, that is also a point, right? I think why some people are coming to the conclusion Charlamagne is coming to, and what I'm calling a sleight of hand mostly, is because they're saying, and it goes back to what the person from UMG told me. They said, think about how arrogant you have to be in the middle of a contract negotiation than getting a rap beef. They're like, do you know what rap beefs are? People lie on you. Say, lying's always been a thing. This is a direct wording from, say, lying's always been a thing. Tupac said he fucked Faith. What else lie? Jay lied about Nas a bunch. Nas lied about Jay a bunch. Lying is part of this. So to have a integrity-filled battle means you didn't understand what a rap battle is. A rap battle is filled with lies. It's filled with slander. So why would you do that during a negotiation? If you know it could go any way and there's really no rules. So that was a point that I thought about. I'm like, yeah, that's a good. But then I guess to wrap this up was they said, and then I kind of agree. They said, let's just throw these numbers out as just to make this make sense. They're like, so Drake said he got 400 last time. This time he wanted 600, allegedly. Well, why would you get in a rap battle? Oh, you got in a rap battle because you wanted to roll the die. You wanted to gamble. But you know what happens when you gamble. You could win or you could lose. If he had won the rap battle, do you think he still would have asked for that 600 or would have said, give me 7 or 8? People think that you lost. What happens when you lose in a casino? You don't leave with the 600. You might only have, maybe luckily, 400 again, or maybe 300. And that did make a little sense because, you know, if you think about it, if Drake did win, you get to ask yourself, does he file the lawsuit? What do you guys think? I don't know. Still damaging allegations. Still was a really popular song. Anyway, let's keep playing this.
You the bop guy. You could have got with some ghostwriters, went in the studio and wrote a hit to combat Not Like Us, but you chose not to. You tapped out. Kendrick won, and he told you to squabble up, not lawyer up, but you chose to get the lawyers because you lost the squabble. Please give Aubrey Drake Graham the sweet sounds of the Hamiltons.
You are the donkey.
Series he's doing. He got the 10-year anniversary of Forest Hill Drive coming in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Just announced Dreamville.
Just announced Dreamville Fest. Like, yo, nostalgia will bring you back. You have that much history in the game, Drake. But right now, you need to take a break because this Kendrick tidal wave ain't stopping no time soon.
What was Michael Jackson fighting for?
Oh, they said they were taking Michael Jackson down because he owned.
Okay. Interesting. There's a lot of responses to this. Let me see if I can play a few. Okay. Speaking of timing, did you see Stephen A. Smith is speaking on hip hop these days? Hilarious. Here we go.
It involved Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Now, remember last week I had to talk about this Drake lawsuit thing, right? Well, it's some additional news that y'all need to know about. Drake's recent lawsuit against Universal Music Group, UMG, has seemingly backfired, y'all. In a big way, by the way. Inadvertently boosting Kendrick Lamar's streams. The legal filings, which accused UMG of artificially boosting the popularity of Kendrick's diss track, Not Like Us, through streaming bots and payola, have resulted in a massive 440% increase in the song's sales and a 20% rise in streams. Since the filing on November 25th, the track has surged back up the charts on both Apple Music and Spotify. Even Mick Cassini even speculated that.
Okay, so essentially, Kendrick's sales spiked because of that. Whatever. There's so much commentary on this.
Calling from Kansas City. Good morning.
Hey, Crystal. Good morning. What do you feel about the lawsuit?
First of all, go Chiefs. What was Drake supposed to do? He should have did it a long time ago when he called him a pedophile. And my thing is,
you know what Drake was supposed to do? He was supposed to rap.
What?
He was supposed to rap, and he didn't.
True.
He didn't have to tap out with the hard part 6. That's what we're missing here. Drake gave up.
But my thing is, Drake is winning. He still gonna see you win. But my thing is, why don't Kendrick have a hit without mentioning Drake?
That's
Drake
not
done
true.
it thousands of times.
You're a liar. And I don't know
No,
why
I'm not. I'm telling the truth.
No, you're not. You're a liar. And I don't know why people say that.
Don't nobody get in the car. Don't nobody get in the car and be like, put on that Kendrick.
That's a
Mighty
lie.
Poetic Justice with Drake on it.
I've been doing it for 15 years.
She can't say don't nobody get in
Well,
the
you've been
car
doing 20
that.
with Drake.
It's crazy
Well,
that
more people.
It's crazy that people say that when Kendrick Lamar just came off a worldwide tour for his Mr. Morale and the Big Stepper tour, and it was that.
I wanted to let y'all know.
All right. Okay, now. Okay. I see the whack with an interesting theory, and actually, I give this a little bit of credit. Can I find it? Is it this? And after this, we're kind of pivoting off. We're going to YSL.
Donald Trump's makes you with all his projects, and that's a part of the culture. That's right there. Football, pimping, grow your career, Drake.
All right, never mind. I can't find it. So let's get to YSL real quick. So got to be. That's the name. Yes. Okay, chat. The verdict just came down. The YSL trial is now concluded, ladies and gentlemen, and the two people that were on trial still have been found not guilty of most charges. Shannon Stillwell, he was only actually found guilty on the possession of a firearm by a felon, and actually that's a really serious charge still. But considering what these guys are facing with the RICO and everything else, he was found guilty not guilty on the other charges. This is one of the very first times I've ever seen a not guilty verdict in any type of semi-high profile situation regarding not even only just rappers, just period, when it regards to the RICO charge. So officially, Shannon Stillwell and even Yak Gotti, they've officially beaten a RICO case. And, you know, obviously there's so much that could be said. Yo, this goddamn prosecutor just fucked up the entire thing. They really butchered this case. But nonetheless, I do want to say this. Young Thug exiting the case definitely helped these men out. Number one, it cut the witness list by, I believe, 50 to 70 or something like that. It got to the jury box quicker than expected, but also it was off the backdrop of a lot of other things happening. And also these guys were offered some sort of negotiated plea that they all turned down. This was the reading of the verdict, and here it is.
You have been found guilty on count 64, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and not guilty on every other charge. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have been found guilty on count 64, possession of a firearm.
So you got found not guilty on the other charges. This was for Yak Gotti.
You have been found not guilty on all charges.
Okay. So officially, Yak Gotti has been found not guilty on all charges, including the RICO charge, and also, most importantly, and this is the reason why he didn't take a negotiated plea, there was a murder charge. So he is officially free. Well, not yet free. From what I was told, he picked up some charges from being incarcerated that has to still be addressed, but now he could bond out for those, and now they could apply for bond because he's now free on the charge he was already in jail for. So I want to say congratulations to these men. This opens up so many conversations. We'll get to what the lawyers said in a little bit, but what some people are saying, well, damn, if Thug had waited an extra month, he would have probably got the same verdict, right? Now, that seems very likely after we've seen a no guilty verdict get put in. However, I think Thug just didn't want to even fuck around and take the chance, man. Also, the state's case was going to be, it wasn't going to stop today, right? It was going to go into 2025 and probably go until mid-2025, so 6 more months. So again, Thug walked out of jail immediately. But of course, if he did stay, it seems like, even with the 50 other witnesses or people that they may have called, it does appear that Young Thug may have gotten a not guilty verdict as well. Anyway, there is some other updates from the hearing. It says Jimmy Winfrey might be interested in a plea deal. These are people who are either elusive or couldn't be found or didn't have lawyers that didn't get added on to the original indictment that went to, not indictment, but the initial trial. So they're trying to figure out and get everybody sorted out because, again, remember, this was definitely House of Cards. Once Young Thug got out, the prosecutor ran out of steam. They didn't have enough to get these guys locked up in a show. These guys was found not guilty. The judge took a recess to deal with another matter. And, yeah, so yeah. So after the 2 years since jury selection, the verdict of the 2 remaining defendants came with no fanfare, no warning. That was a crazy moment. Wow. Now, we do have supposedly, who's this? Yeah. By the way, this guy here, Max Goddard. He is one of the fine attorneys who's done it. He's really earned. He's earned a huge fucking salary for whoever, you know. I mean, if you're caught up in Fulton County, you got to get this guy. This guy's earned his keep. He's done a phenomenal job. And by the way, I just want to be very clear and on the record with this. The lawyers and the defense attorneys in this case, kudos. You guys were top tier, didn't miss a beat, didn't look at how big the case was and all the evidence that the state purported that they had, and just basically either encourage your client to take a plea or half-ass representing them. These attorneys fought tooth and nail to make sure they got these brothers out. Brian Steele, obviously, we know him. My Jamaican brother, I think he's Jamaican, the black dude, he was also Young Thug's attorney. And then these other attorneys, they clearly did an amazing damn job the entire time. If we're seeing a not guilty verdict for murder and a RICO charge, god damn. Now, there's one juror in question that has finally spoken out. Now, if you guys don't know, there was a juror that offered to recuse himself, or he wrote a letter to the judge saying, "Judge, could you let me go?" Why? The juror actually said, "I can't be impartial anymore. I can't be non-biased. I watched the state waste 2 years of my life, or a year and a half of my life sitting here. I've watched them mess up this case, and I'm disgusted. I can't be non-biased." And the judge actually said, "We're not going to dismiss you. We're going to still keep you on the stand. We're going to still keep you in the jury box and still keep you a part of this case." And that's exactly what happened. He ended up being supposedly the foreperson, the jury foreman, and that's like the person who kind of delivers the results to the judge and kind of like calculates the votes, or like, he's like, "All right, let's vote. Since we've discussed, let's vote." That's the guy that ends up doing that, which, by the way, trust me, Fulton County, y'all, it's Fulton County. The guy who says he can't be impartial is the foreman. Make this make sense. Whatever. Okay. He actually spoke out. So this is a juror. Listen to this.
I can file a report that I was one of the jurors for the YSL court case here in the state of Georgia, the longest court case in the state history. We just wrapped up a few hours ago, delivered the verdict for two of the remaining individuals. A long time, a year and some change. It took us about 4 or 5 days to deliberate, and now we can get back to our normal lives. I talked to my sister not too long ago. I'm the infamous juror number 56, as well as the foreman, and we'll talk more about this court case at some other point. In the meantime, I'm going to relax, get my life back to normal, my regular routine, and get back into friendly skies and travel around the world. And we'll talk soon. All right. I can file a report that...
So essentially, he's almost like lobbying, saying, "Yo, hit me up for interviews, okay?" He's the guy who said, "I'm requesting to be removed from the current case due to the length of this trial and how the state has handled this case. I can no longer be unbiased towards any decision moving forward." The juror sent that note a few weeks ago. 56 ended up being the jury foreperson. Fulton County people. Okay. A few other things happened. This was outside the courtroom, which is a little bit pandemonium. The lawyers spoke. This is Yak Gotti's attorney, Doug Weinstein.
Just the state of Georgia, not just this DA's office, stopped using artists' lyrics against them. We need to pass the RAP Act in Congress to protect the entire country. We need a Georgia RAP Act, and we need to get moving on it now. Just because this trial is over, this fight for the RAP Act should not stop. It should start, it should be ignited. And the DA's office here should stop using people's lyrics against them, and they only use lyrics against people of color. And that is what I said in my closing, and that is the God's honest truth. Let's cut that stuff out right now. Just the state of Georgia, not just...
Okay, all right. And then here is...
He was found guilty of possession of a firearm on March 17th, not the day of any of any other crimes, it was the day that he was arrested. And there was a gun that was registered to his girlfriend that was found near the scene of where he was arrested. And that's what he was convicted of. Judge Whitaker, we are so thankful to her for having an open mind. A lot of times when you take a case to trial, you just get the maximum sentence for daring to take on the state. Judge Whitaker did not see it that way. She gave Mr. Stillwell a time-served sentence for the time that he is served, followed by probation. Mr. Stillwell has a couple, or I think one other criminal matter that needs to be resolved. I am hopeful and optimistic. It's nothing like this case. It's a case that was picked up while incarcerated. And we're hopeful that there will be a quick resolution to that case, and Mr. Stillwell will be able to get back to his life and his children and his family.
You think he'll be home by Christmas? Is that
I'm hoping. Okay. That's not unrealistic.
Okay. So, yeah, that is the lawyers speaking. I think we have Young Thug's dad who was there.
Stepped in and made a big difference on this case.
Any regrets for your son?
No, I ain't no regrets. No regrets. You know what I'm saying? He did what he felt like he wanted to do. So he's grown. He made his own decision.
Have you spoken to him since this happened?
Yeah.
So what was his reaction to today's verdict?
Today? Nah, I haven't spoken to him today.
How is he doing?
He's doing great. He's doing great. Honestly, he's doing great. So he don't have a word. You know, we still fight. We still fighting out as well. It's not over for us. Huh?
What do you mean it's not over for you guys?
It's not over for us because I got another son and a grandson that was arrested about this case that I'm still fighting for.
You've been an outspoken critic of Fulton County DA's office. In light of today's verdict, I got a message for that?
I still feel the same way about the DA office. It's a piece of shit. So, you know, we got to get those people out of there. If we want to continue to have justice, we got to get them out of there.
In case I forget, Mr. Producer, can you say your name itself for me?
Big Jeff, Jeffrey Williams, 1.
Okay.
This is Yak Gotti's mom.
Never! He said, Mama, I'm not taking it. I'm standing up. And I stood right by him every day. Every day of the week, I stood by my child. And he said, no. And I said, I'm going to stand with you. I'm going to stand with you to the end. And we stood down to the end. You never give up. No matter what's thrown against you. You never give up. Never. And he stood down.
So, you know, the boy Drizzy Drake. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. So, Drake went on a little unfollowing spree as of recently. And, you know, he unfollowed LeBron. He unfollowed Playboy Cardi. He unfollowed Kendrick Lamar. You feel me? Honestly, I don't know why Drake never unfollowed them from the get-go. He unfollowed DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan is one very fake guy. I'm not gonna lie, like, you have to think of it from the point of view, if your position was switched with Drake, you mess with all these guys so heavy, and you feel me, one guy calls you a pedo, like, those are some serious allegations, man. Like, that you like little kids, especially in, like, the position Drake's in, and they're rocking with this guy heavy and, like, supporting him. What? Like, bro, come on. Like what X said at one point, with friends like these, you never need enemies. Like, DeMar DeRozan in the video, LeBron at the concert, bopping his head. You feel me? Playboy Cardi not clearing songs for Drake, which is so insane. Playboy Cardi doesn't clear a song for Drake. Like, the reason why it's so insane, the type of music that Playboy Cardi makes and all that stuff, with those little, like, noises and stuff, 5 to 10 years from now, the Playboy Cardis, the Ken Carsons, all that stuff, gone, washed up. Probably drug addicts. You feel me? You might catch them on the side of the road looking like drug addicts. They don't know what to do with themselves. Cardi has no personality. You never hear from Cardi. So he probably could do merch and stuff. 5 to 10 years, Cardi is probably going to be like You feel me? The way I see it is, if I don't think Lil Wayne fell all the way off, but if someone like Lil Wayne could like be at a lower level at rapping, anyone could fall off. That's the way I see it. And no one this day and age really ever reached Wayne's level for real. So yes, they could all fall off. Like, Wayne could go on tour and have a bigger tour than damn near every single rapper now. But someone like Drake, the type of music Drake makes and all that stuff, Drake's cool. Drake doesn't even need rap. So, feel me? But hey, man, I hope Drake unfollows more people. There's definitely more people who deserve to unfollow. It's your boy Big Act News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I am out.